All right, welcome to another episode of the Double EP. I'm Denis de la Violette.
And I'm Kitty Kamenyaki, and today in the studio we have Tim Ginley. He's an actor, director, producer, writer, all sorts of stuff.
He
How
does
are
it
you
all,
today,
absolutely. Welcome, Tim.
Hello. Hi.
It's a pleasure to have you here on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, as Kitty mentioned, now you're, I have to write it down, you're an actor, director, producer. You've been around for about 20 years now, but most recently you're being recognized as an author, which is something new, I guess, for you. So tell us about your new production, self-penned, So to Speak, by Tim Ginley.
So to Speak is a little bit of black comedy. It's set in not probably a future totalitarian state where the party has taken over to a great extent, and they've come down hard on the arts. In this world, though, they are sponsoring a play, and this is where my play enters into it. So it's a play within a play, and we find our two actors in rehearsals for the play, and one of the troupe members is found dead.
Da 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 da.
Dun dun.
That's how it begins.
And hilarity ensues.
Oh, I'm sure, yes.
Black hilarity, but hilarity nonetheless.
So would you say it's more of a political statement than a standard play then?
Well, it's certainly, it follows all the conventions of the play, but it has at its heart everything's political. Every artistic choice is political because it's expressing its utter expression, and that utter expression could be challenging to the powers that be. So anytime you write or paint or anything, it has a political flavor. What you're bringing to it. It has its ear to the current political zeitgeist. That, to be honest, we seem to be moving in a right wing, direction that doesn't sort of embrace the arts. It sort of sits on the arts or tries to contain it for its own purposes, or it doles out very little in terms of respect and funding. So it sort of has that. It's touching on those feelings. It's not. The party is a homicidal party, whereas we are, the Conservatives, the Toronto mayor. Those elements have not reached a homicidal pitch.
Not yet.
But not yet. But they have an air of belligerence about them, and belligerence can easily turn to a police-induced state. Watch anytime politicians want to meet, they just invite the police to stand guard. So it has that. It's not just the politicians, any corporations. We are living in a sort of a tighter, an era of tight restrictions on not ideas, but they're always going to be there, but sort of our full expression of them.
Yeah. Actually, there's always that sort of oppressive presence whenever they make a statement about whether it just be about parks or new funding for schooling or whatever. They always seem to have some kind of authoritative body there, a presence that's very daunting for the public, I find.
Yeah, they tie, everything is tied to, every offering is tied to some sort of concession. So, arts is sort of co-opted. To live, we have to. It moves a little along with the right, A good example is Proud in Toronto. That Tarragon backed off producing it because it named names. It's named Harper, and so that's political. So to Speak is in that it touches on those political feelings, but it's not political. It's more just, what do you do when you're an artist and this happens to you?
Right.
But you're still skirting the edges of danger, are you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It is. I like to think it's the through line that politicians walk on, and that through line appears in So to Speak.
Excellent. And now all of this springs out of Incite Lab, which is, I believe, your initiative, correct? And tell us a little bit about that and what the motivation was behind putting together Incite Lab. What's it all about?
Well, Incite Lab, there's a lot of very talented writers in Ottawa, and I'm hoping, and I think Incite Lab is to get to those latent writers who have something to say, but might not have a company. Might not know actors, but still be able to sit down and write a script, be interested in writing a script. I want Incite Lab to tap into those latent writers. All you need is an idea, peppy dialogue, and you got to play. So I want to tap into those people who want to explore that form of writing. And so to that end, we're going to Incite Lab is partnering with the acting company to sort of make a playwrights workshop, because I don't think we have that in Ottawa.
Right.
It's sort of to tap into an underground movement where people are writing, but they haven't found the place to put it on.
So basically, you're giving them sort of a framework in which you can nurture budding playwrights and take them as far as they'll go, or as far as they can go.
Yeah, I mean, my intention and Incite Lab's intention. I mean, we are a small, just really myself and my wife, and I'm pulling talents along to go along with me. But right now, it's my idea. My vision is that I'm going to open up a playwright contest. People are going to submit. We're going to go through the 10 or 15 or whatever scripts we get and say, what's the best 45 minutes of writing we've got here?
Right.
Let's find 3 of them. Let's read them to the public. Let the public pick what is the best play. What are they interested in?
So
and then we'll workshop it, dramaturge it, and then read it again. And then by the end of the year, I'd like to see a staged play of it in the Avalon Studios.
Excellent. That's
so you're
great.
trying to basically become more of a creative outlet for the Ottawa theatre community then.
The Ottawa theatre community is very vibrant. It's getting new venues to play in, and I mean, so what I like to get to is tap into those people who are good writers, but haven't found that yet. Haven't found that outlet. So yeah, I guess it's a new outlet for latent writers and would-be writers and people who are just interested in the craft of what does it take to put a play on.
That's an excellent initiative, and something that Ottawa or any city actually needs. It'd be nice for you to clone this into different cities and sort of form your own branding.
I think that's the thing. That's the nice thing about Ottawa right now is we have so many. We have good acting programs now. Ottawa is going to wants to start a conservatory program. So the acting company is a good school to teach. So we're going to be like lousy with actors. So when we need more venues and we need more homegrown stories. So that's what I'm really interested in doing.
Okay, that's cool.
Excellent. Now, as an author, you were also recently featured in the Extremely Short Play Festival, correct?
Yes.
Which one of
It
your...
was it's a little 10-minute play I wrote when I was with Brian Quirt. It's called There's More to the Picture. I wrote it in a circle, and then I worked on it just before submitting it. So yeah, it was very satisfying to go through that process.
Yeah, that's another great initiative that encourages people to put forth their ideas, because sometimes just the nugget of the idea may be only 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but then when they get the encouragement of being recognized, then all of a sudden it's a boost for them to go ahead and fly with it kind of thing.
It's very exciting. I mean, I was speaking on opening night with an economist. He writes short poems, he writes short stories, and now he's written a short play, and it was probably the funniest piece that went on, and he's not a playwright. So it's a great venue for people who are just interested in writing.
Excellent.
Yeah,
excellent.
So you were mentioning before something about a creative collaboration or
creative collective.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that's a word that I want to. That's the terminology I want to bring along to Incite Lab, where creation is just that, starting from point one and going all the way through infinity. But a collective is getting people who are interested in like-minded ideas and like-minded pursuits, and collecting their interest and passion.
For sure.
And so bringing it together to create creations.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Now, are you producing anything right now?
I am producing,
so to speak. Anything else coming up?
What I have, no. After that, I was going to be looking at the long term of Incite Lab. Putting it into 2014, setting out the parameters for a playwriting contest, and other than that, I'm going to go put on my director's hat. Right after, probably once so to speak is done, I'll go on, put my director's hat on, and go back to the OLT and direct Driving Miss Daisy for July 2014. So
Excellent. We're looking forward to that.
yeah.
My next question was, what's next for Tim Ginley? But obviously, you're writing, you're producing, you're going to be doing OLT.
Yeah.
That's great. Wow, you're really you're a busy guy around town.
Yeah.
How can people follow where you're going next and what,
Well,
where are your pages and whatnot online?
My contact information. We're sort of, as I say, it's just starting, so we haven't got a web page yet. Because apparently, every time you start something, you got to get a web page. So I'm behind the times. So right now, we just we encourage people to contact us at Incite Lab, all one word, .members@gmail.com.
Okay.
So we will be reaching out to our members through that, and hopefully they'll give us feedback. And also, people want information about, so to speak, and that, and also the acting company. Go to the AvalonStudios.com. Make sure that's right.
Otherwise, you're going to have Chris and John down here going.
AvalonStudios.ca.
.ca. All right. And you mentioned earlier submitting. You're looking for people to submit plays, so that would be where they would submit them.
Well, that's where my challenge will go.
Oh, okay.
But right now, it will be. I'll be putting it out on Portal, and when I get the website up, and Facebook will be huge. We have a Facebook page, not it's attached to my page, so it's not a full-blown page yet. We have YouTube videos. Go to YouTube, Incite Lab, to see the 2 little videos I made for this production.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
And I mean, at any time, once you have your Facebook page or your web page established, just come on back in and give us the information. We'll put it on our blog. We'll put it on our website.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that the information goes out there.
People can find you.
Absolutely.
Now, as our guest for the week, we believe you have a prize for our listeners.
A contest, a challenge.
A challenge.
A challenge.
Yes, challenge. Well, because the company is a creation collective, my challenge to anyone who would be interested in a comp, we play this weekend, but we play next weekend. Maybe we can get it done by closing night. But I'd like to give out a comp to a person who comes up with a scene, 5 pages, 10 pages, of a dialogue between Stephen Harper and Rob Ford.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Stephen Harper has just offered Rob Ford a senatorship. That's the scenario.
That's the
Tell me
scenario.
the
That's the
story.
back. So go, right?
Go.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you want them to submit this
to
this
Incite Lab
Dot
Incite Lab members dot Incite Lab
We'll have it up on the screen
dot
either way.
members at gmail.com.
Great.
All right, so that's where they submit to this challenge that you have
Yeah.
for our listening audience, and the prize is
Prize is a free ticket to, so to speak.
excellent.
Perfect.
Oh, and now before we go, so to speak runs the dates.
We run tonight, tomorrow
is,
night, 8th, 9th, 10th,
Mm-hmm.
15th, 16th, 17th.
All right, and it's at the Avalon.
Avalon Studios, 738A Bank Street.
Excellent.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much for coming in.
Absolutely,
It's
you've been
great
great.
talking to you.
Thank you.
And stay tuned for the Crimsonics, our featured artist of the week. Welcome back to the WP.
And today we have as our featured artist, we're lucky enough to have in the studio Crimsonix.
Hi,
Welcome, boys.
How are you?
Thanks for having us.
Yes, nice to have you here. So, okay, Crimsonix. How did you guys come together? How did you form the band?
So we were all Josh and I and our original bassist Jared. We were originally all music students at Carleton University, and in first year of university, I wanted to start a band. So, being the advertising genius I am, I put up one poster.
Let's just reiterate that one poster.
Just one poster. Pianist vocalist wants to start a band. And I got one response to that poster, and that response was Jared, who was our bassist. We came together, we started jamming. We said, "This is good. Let's keep doing this." And then we said, "Well, if we want to keep writing originals, I really want to get the rest of a band together." And I forget which one of us said, "I know this guitarist."
Yeah, that was around Christmas time.
It was around
It was still our first year. I knew Jared and Finn separately because that we were all in the same, different music classes together and stuff. And Finn came up to me. It was I don't know who initiated, but you came up to me and was like, "Hey, you should come and jam with us one weekend or something like that." Yeah, why not? I'm looking for a band, right? And I get there, and of course, who's there but Jared? And I'm just like, oh, Jared, how do you two know each other? And then it kind of started from there, and we found somebody else in the program to be our drummer, and then we just
The rest is
started
history.
going. Yeah.
Rest is
Well,
Many drummers later.
many.
And then many
So
drummers later.
we started playing shows. It seemed like every show we had a new drummer. We couldn't keep one down for various reasons. So
Spontaneous explosion, drowned in a bathtub on
Tap
someone
style.
else's vomit.
Oh,
just
no.
wild stuff, yeah.
Typical
Yeah.
musician stuff.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right?
So eventually, after like a year of playing shows with a different drummer every time, we eventually, through auditioning and jamming with all sorts of people, we found Phil, who is our current drummer.
Yay, Phil.
Yay.
Yay.
He's fantastic.
Excellent. Now, and how long ago was this? When did the poster start? When did all that start?
So the poster started I guess the poster was almost 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it was exactly about 2 years ago.
So you've been
I
together for
remember
2 years
seeing
now.
it, Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And you guys now have a
And,
new
uh,
bassist, you were saying?
Yeah.
we just
Just
last
now.
week. So Jared, due to a lot of scheduling and crazy stuff, he is unfortunately leaving the band. Not the end of the world. We wish him all the best, you know.
Of course.
And so we've been jamming with a few other bassists, and we have found our guy.
Excellent.
That's
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
So now you are complete.
Yes.
Yes.
And we hope to stay that way for a while.
At
hope
least
so
4
too.
months. That'll be
At
the record.
least. Now, describe to us your sound. What sort of music do you guys do?
Well, Phil, do you want to start with this question?
I describe us as alternative rock, as Finn has many times said. But it's quite diverse. I mean, sometimes we really can bring a harder sound to it, and sometimes we really dim it down. And between the three of us, 4 of us now, 4-3, we have many influences, and that really comes through in the sound that we play.
Yeah, and it's really nice to have a piano and guitar interplay a lot of the times. We've got a couple songs where we've got some parts I play melody and Finn's playing rhythm, or Finn's playing melody, I'm playing rhythm. We even have one song where we actually are playing the exact opposite notes. So it's a harmony line, and I'll play the first part of the harmony, and he'll play the real line, and then he'll play the harmony, and I'll play the real line. But because of the two different instruments, it sounds like a completely different line each time.
It fills it out really nice.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
really nice to have that kind of play.
So it sounds like you're finding your sound. So you're playing with a lot of different
Definitely.
Yeah.
different styles. So what are your influences? What would you say your influences are?
Well, I mean, the 3 of us at least, we sort of come from these different backgrounds, which blend in an odd way to make a really cool sound, we think. So, I mean, I listen to a lot of piano music as the piano guy. So I listen to a lot of classical music, and then rock piano, so Coldplay and Keane, and then this more alternative spacey stuff. So some Sigur Rós, Patrick Watson, this sort of the spacey side of things.
What about you,
Josh is
I'm a
more-
total like classic rock, metal, Van Halen,
Nice.
Iron Maiden, just that Steel Panther, just it's good stuff, you know, like good
Yeah.
hard rock and roll. And I like a little bit of earlier stuff, like some Jimi Hendrix and stuff like that.
Awesome.
But I'm a very guitar focused type of any genre.
And I'm drummer focused. I listen to
Of course.
a lot
What a
of Rush
surprise.
and Dream Theater and anything with good drumming. Buddy Rich, I'm a big
Nice.
fan of.
So a lot of nice influences all coming together, so that eventually you'll find your unique sound out of
Yeah.
all these different
Yeah.
elements.
Cool.
Good for
Yeah,
you.
it's a bunch of sort of several weird genres. to
But it's an
try and
exciting
mix.
time though, because it's all coming together and it's all going to gel.
Somehow
Well-
we decide on what to play.
Yeah, and it's weird because sometimes we'll pull influences from stuff that we've never even really played a lot, like jazz. We've got one part of a song where it's really jazzy, and I don't play very much jazz at all.
I also
And
don't play very
and
much
we don't play
jazz.
jazz and classical and rock musicians here, right? So we're
Yeah.
just like,
And I'll
well,
just drag them along for the ride.
yeah, it is, there you go. Hey, I kind of like this, the roller
But
coaster.
it works.
So,
Excellent.
what are you guys going to be playing for us today?
That's right, you're performing for us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why don't you set this up for us? What are we going to hear?
So we're gonna be playing a track of ours called Minefield. This is the first track on our EP, which we released in the spring.
Cool.
Lights at the Arcus Amphitheater EP. And it is just a bucket of fun.
All right, so Minefield,
Minefield.
Minefield.
Hey.
Let's do it.
let's take a listen.
kneel for grace and be alone, and be alone. The killer's got a mark on me. He's stood up on phantasm. I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I'm done with chasing the North Star. Now I'm taking a step too far. And when the author composes her magnum opus, I lay a minefield. Some mortars fell down around me, exploding at the back of my feet. I've never seen bombs fall like raindrops. You were a beacon, noise and dust. Oh Lord, you look like you trusted me, but I couldn't light your way home. I'm done with chasing the North Star. Now I'm taking a step too far. And when the author composes her magnum opus, I lay a minefield. I can't breathe or get through the 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 minefield. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Oh.
Wow, that
Wow.
was really great.
That was
really
so
great.
good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
Your
you so
music
much.
is really great.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, where are you guys appearing next?
Well, our most upcoming show
Yeah.
is November the 23rd at the Daily Grind. Doors are going to be open all day because it's a cafe, but the music will start at around 9:30, and it's $10 at the door.
Yeah, and that's gonna be more of a lower acoustic
Yeah.
type of show. More, gonna have some other bands. It's
Similar
gonna be-
similar to the sound of what we just played. It'll be a bit
Yeah.
fuller, but similar to that.
Yeah.
We'll have our new bassist with us.
Yeah.
Nice.
Excellent.
Then on January 10th, we're gonna rock out. That's when we have our full show at Mavericks.
Cool.
Okay,
That's gonna be
Awesome.
That's gonna be awesome. We got a couple of bands playing with us. They're gonna be really good. And that's when we're gonna have our full rock and roll setup
Yeah.
going.
It's gonna be big.
You say you look excited about it. I mean,
Oh,
it's-
man.
I'm really pumped.
That's awesome.
There's nothing we like more than playing live electric.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's
Excellent.
magical.
Excellent.
And then we are playing March 7th. A long time in the future, but we're booking ahead. March 7th at Cafe Detcuff, which is actually just above Mavericks.
Cool.
And we're also booking a show in February right now, and I don't have any details for that. it's happening
It's
No
happening.
worries.
Yeah, okay.
somewhere
Stay
with
tuned.
some people.
Okay.
Now,
Well, after you.
okay. Where can people get your EP? Your latest one, at least.
Yeah. So our EP is available on our Bandcamp page. The Bandcamp page is under our old name, Out of Control. But it's also good. It's still us.
So what
Still
the
playing.
address is?
It's outofcontrol.bandcamp.com.
Okay.
Cool.
And it's free to download.
It is a free download.
Free download.
Awesome.
Excellent.
They can
We'll have to
also
get that.
you can also find us on Facebook.
Okay.
Cool.
Facebook Crimsonix,
Reverb Nation,
Reverb Nation.
Twitter,
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud.
Great.
Okay.
Soon
Get out there as
YouTube.
much as we can.
And if you
Lots
go to
of
one of those
places.
places, you can often find links to the other
Yeah.
mediums.
They're all
Which is
networked.
great.
All right. And once again, like any of these concerts that you have coming up, we'd love to have you back. Like at any point, if you have like a new series of concerts coming up, just pop your head in at any time, and we'll just plop the seat down, put you in front of the mic, and you can promote your next series of concerts.
Awesome.
Yeah, perfect.
Because this was a great interview. We really thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for
Well, thank you. We really
Uh,
enjoyed playing.
Thanks for
here.
having us.
Absolutely,
Hooray.
it was a pleasure. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this episode of the second of the double EP with the Crimsonics and Tim Ginley. So, thanks very much for tuning in.
Join us again next time.
All right.